the mill housing. They have.
Recording in progress.
Are we all set, Chris?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, here we go. Hi, everybody. Good evening. Time being 5:50. I'd like to call the May 23rd, 2024 meeting of the Economic Development Committee to order. A note to all residents, all citizens are welcome to attend public meetings in person. To view the live meeting remotely, citizens are encouraged to watch the live stream on Franklin Town Hall TV YouTube channel or the live broadcast on Comcast Channel 9 and Verizon Channel 29. Meetings are also archived by the Franklin TV on the Franklin Town Hall TV YouTube channel and shown on repeat on Comcast 9 and Verizon Channel 29 for those who missed the live meeting. To listen to the meeting remotely, citizens may call in using this phone number 1-929-205-6099. This will not permit participation in the meeting. To participate, what did I say? I think I said that. The link to the Zoom, there's a Zoom webinar ID is 811-0401-0782. There's a link on the agenda on the town website. Any participants who wish to speak during the webinar must enter their full name and email address when joining the webinar. All participants will be automatically muted upon joining the webinar. In order to speak, participants who have entered full name and email address will need to select the raise hand function to request to be unmuted. All speakers will be required to state their full name and street address before commenting. Tonight, we have one item on the agenda, the proposed zoning map amendment in the area on Union Street near Franklin Crossing. It's 24-913. Jamie would like to start, or should we throw it to Brian first? Or?
My only comment, Madam Chair, is that I'm absolutely so excited about this meeting. I really am. This is something I really didn't see coming, and I really want to give Rick a tremendous amount of credit, and I'm just really excited. I really am. This is great. That's it.
Even that you were up till midnight last night and you're ready
I
to
was
go.
up at 1 in the morning thinking about this. What's tomorrow? And I was like, I was thinking about you. I was thinking about Agwin. I was thinking about Union 305 Union.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. It just a lot of great stuff.
The stars aligned.
Stars. Are
I guess
aligned.
should I announce that I no longer am in a butter, so this is okay for me to.
I think it's more important about not only what you're doing with what you're doing, but also who's going into where you're going and how that's just a great
Well, I'm not
thing
going
for
in
the-
there anymore, but I mean, I'll go in
Well, I
there
think
to
you're gonna go
support
in there.
everybody. But yeah. I
I
mean,
just think it's all exciting.
especially for the neighborhood and for people, they can walk there and
Franklin Crossing.
and everybody needs more customers.
Yeah.
I'm a testament to that. Okay. Is that all you want to say?
That's it. I'm just
Amy,
excited.
you have anything to
And I
add?
just can't hide it. She's
All right.
excited too, but she can hide it a little bit better than me.
She's smiling pretty
She
big.
is smiling.
I'm excited too. I think this is going to be a good meeting.
This was one of the buildings when she came here.
Yeah.
and drove around town. This was one of the parcels that she identified and said, "What's up with this? And how could there be a better use of this?" And started to weigh into it. So actually, she's smiling a lot because it only took a year for her to be here, less than, and now already the magic is happening.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
it takes all the stars, I think, to align. But we can talk about this forever and we won't get anywhere, Jamie. So we're gonna give it to Brian, and he can start and tell us what's going on.
All right, thank you. Director Brian Taberner, Director of Planning and Community Development. Before you is a proposed zoning map amendment, which would change one parcel in the Union Street area near the crossing, near Franklin Crossing as it's being called, from the business zone to commercial 1 zoning. The parcel is a substantial mill property that's been around for well over 100 years, and it has, over the years, it has been utilized for manufacturing, all kinds of different manufacturing, all kinds of commercial reasons. Right now, it is being underutilized. It needs a ton of work. And it's currently on the market.
What?
Yeah, move your microphone.
You're saying
No, he
don't-
just said, don't scare him. I mean, I think we know that it
Yeah.
needs some work.
It needs a lot of work, and I think that the fact that it is on the market, and the developer team, K Commercial Real Estate Services, which is a couple of partners of Casey Killam and Rick Kaplan, who's with us tonight, are hoping to purchase this property and redevelop the site. One of the things that would prevent them from doing it is if they can't do what they need to do with that site. A site that large today really can't just be used for manufacturing or commercial uses. It really should be a mixed-use development, and without rezoning into a zoning district, we could allow mixed use, a fairly dense mixed use. The developer cannot really proceed with this. It just wouldn't make sense for them to do so. So I want to make one note on this, which I mentioned to the chair earlier, is back in 2017, we did a rezone in this section of town. And at that time, we eliminated commercial 2 zoning in that area, and we increased the size of commercial 1. And one of the parcels that we wanted at that time, the planning department and in general, the town that I thought wanted it, was 305 Union Street, to make it C1 at that time. The owner at the time, however, did not want anything to do with C1 zoning. They wanted, the parcel at the time was half business and half industrial. They were happy with what they had there for a mix of people, a mix of businesses in there. They didn't want to change anything. I tried to convince them that a change to C1 would be good for them in case they ever need to redevelop the site. And they didn't want to go down that road. So I pulled off and made a revised map, and we pulled it, and that parcel was zoned to business instead of the C1. So now 7 years later, or whenever it is, the owners want to sell, and to redevelop it, it does need the zoning change that was proposed 7 years ago, or whenever it was, 2017. So that's really, in a nutshell, what it is. And I think that Rick and his partner have come up with some preliminary plans for it, so they could basically have a feel of what they can get in there and what parts can be used. And I guess I can hand it off to Rick at this time, if you don't mind, and he could talk with you about what they have proposed.
Yeah, sure, that's fine. Good.
Thank you. Rick Kaplan, appreciate the opportunity to speak with all of you. When I first was approached by the real estate broker on this property, asking us if we were interested in buying it, we kind of walked through and said, no, thank you. But the more we thought about it, the more we looked at it, we own another property in Franklin that we're developing. It's been a great town to work with. It's been really a good project. And my first step at that point was to meet with Gus and Brian and Amy to discuss, hey, if we did this, what would be allowed to do, what would we not be allowed to do, how can we improve this site? It's a great location, and the bones of the building are terrific. There's just a lot of issues with it right now that we feel we can address. The plan that we preliminary put together, you can see on the big board here, but also I gave everybody some sheets, is to keep basically the main brick buildings on the property. There's a few outbuildings that are single story, that are kind of tucked behind, that have all started falling down, wood structures. We're going to take all that stuff out. The idea is to keep the original brick structures on the site, and then to turn it mostly into residential.
Rick, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
On the photograph, so I'm assuming then, excuse me, the red outline buildings are the ones that you want to save.
Correct.
And the blue is
The blue was just because we're thinking about putting a commercial or restaurant there.
Right.
It's really close to Union Street.
so that's like that's like in this part of your map, on your
Correct.
plan.
Yeah.
Just so everybody follows along. Thank
Yeah.
you.
So we'd keep everything in red, and the part of blue is just being creative, we're putting a restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So everything in red is the 2- and 3-story brick buildings.
Yeah.
Everything else would have to go to create more parking and more flow and outdoor areas and that type of stuff. The preliminary plan, that long building that you talked about right here in the front, kind of when you first drive in on the left, is this plan here, which shows 6 potential townhouses.
Because this is where the fabric shop is now.
Yes, correct. So that would be a 2-story building. Each condo would be a 2-story, and there'd be 6 condos there. The rest of the complex would be made up of 1- and 2-bedroom apartments. Again, very preliminary, not sure, but that's the idea, which we would do 1- and 2-bedroom apartments or condos. I'm not sure apartments, condos. We don't know what we're doing yet, but that's the idea. And then maybe on the first floor of both buildings would be more of a office type of tenants. I just don't think the residential would kind of fit in there.
And the two,
And the two, right, the
That
two
come
brick
off.
Ls.
yeah,
Yeah,
these.
those are both kind of partly in ground and partly above, partly below. So I don't think the residential.
Isn't there a loading dock there? Is there?
There is, that would
Yeah.
go. I mean, the current site, one of the reasons why it's been so empty for so many years is for commercial purposes. You can't get trucks in there. If one truck pulls in there, I mean, nobody can get by. So it's
Right.
definitely difficult. So any trucking, industrial use, really limited. So that's our initial thought, is that we want to turn it into residential. We think it's a great building, the bones are great, location is terrific. Right behind it is a rail line that is, I don't know if the right word is abandoned or right what the term is, but it's gonna become, knock on wood, a walking trail. It ends about a mile further down. It's actually right between 2 rails. One is the commuter
I know
rail, which is
where
still
it
active, yeah, I know, you got it. And the other one is,
You can
not
explain
used
it.
anymore, that's gonna be a walking trail, and again,
Yeah.
you can walk right to the center of town, and I think it's a great location. So, that's why when I met with Brian, he explained the process here, and here we are.
Yeah. And so I think it's interesting that it's just, you're not thinking about adding another floor or another level. It's all 2-story, it's 2-story now.
Yes, no, the long building here is 2-story. These are, the 2 buildings are both 3-story. The height of them may not be any higher than the 2-story one, because
Yeah.
it does drop.
Oh, okay, all right, those back there.
It does
Okay, the
drop,
back
yeah.
ones, yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay.
you're right, that the height may not be higher, I'm not sure, maybe it's a little higher, I'm not sure.
But the residential is that building, the first building, you're just thinking about keeping 2-story.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, that would be a 2-story townhouse. Then as you go further down and turn,
Yep,
that would become
it's up a little higher.
apartments or condos, but they wouldn't be townhouses,
Okay.
more traditional. And to do that, that's why we're here, to get the zoning properly amended to allow that.
And then you have the clubhouse at the end, or some kind of office or something. First
I
floor.
assume that's for residents.
Oh, yeah, it does say that, clubhouse.
Yeah, is that for residents, or is that gonna, I mean, everything can change, right?
Yeah, we have no idea. Casey just drew that as a plan. That's where the boiler room is right now.
Okay,
So the ceilings are much higher. It's also part of a brick structure, so it'd be nice to keep.
oh, okay, yeah.
That's
Whether
good
or not,
bones.
yeah, whether or
does
not it makes the cut once the engineers get involved, time will tell. But it'd be a great place to put a common area place, put a small gym for the tenant type of thing, or break room. We thought about keeping the houses out front that are in the middle of the parking lot. Problem is, they're in the middle of the parking lot,
Yeah, I know.
so.
I know, it's hard in there. It's
Yeah,
tough.
keep those for the same type of thing, a common area, but they're just literally in the middle of the way. So, yeah, we don't know yet exactly, but that's the idea.
Mm-hmm. Questions? Colby? Council Frangillo?
Some of my first Franklin memories are in that little house in front. That was my grandmother's dress shop for a long time. So that would be sad. It
Really?
will be sad, but
You can move it.
You can have it.
Yeah, you can have it. It's yours.
Somebody can have it.
outside of that,
There's your
That's a
ADU.
great story.
That's what I heard.
How long?
Brian said I could move it. If I could move it somewhere. I'm like, well, could I put it as an ADU in my property?
yeah.
And
That'd
then we can
a
move
great,
in there.
Great ADU. Just
No,
plop
we
it
just
in
say
my
that
backyard.
joking around. We probably will try to look into doing something with the building, trying to give it to
It's very
someone.
movable, it's not gonna, tough to move.
It's
Yeah, I
really
think
neat.
it would be.
Yeah.
It's really neat.
So it's
It's
a
unique.
nice,
Yeah.
it's a really nice building.
Yeah.
But
Well-
it's actually two little buildings
Is it?
connected,
That's
and
what
the
the gift
back
shop
one,
was to be.
which
A
is
little
front,
tiny.
is tiny and probably would fall apart.
That
The
was
front
the gift
building is
shop.
really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. where-
Fiore was there.
Yeah.
You know,
The front. Yeah.
the front one.
Yeah.
That's beautiful building,
Yeah.
beautiful
Gorgeous.
roof line on it.
Yeah.
But you need a piece of land to move it to.
Yeah. Well, honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
Let
No,
me know.
honestly,
But that
We
that
thought
was
about
more.
that. We thought about that. Geez, if a shank could tear that down, it'd be nice to be able to give it to the, historical commission. Be like, take
Yeah.
it.
They're doing actually a quick plug for the historical commission. They're doing a plug on, or they're doing an exhibit in June on wedding dresses. It was the Little White Dress Shop,
Yeah.
and some of the wedding dresses in the historical museum are going to be ones that my grandmother made.
That's
Pretty
very
fun,
cool.
from the Little White Dress Shop.
You
But anyway,
see? Stars are aligned,
I wanna
Jamie.
know
The
more.
stars are
I think
aligned.
it's a great story.
It really is.
but that's all an aside. I'm very excited by this possibility. I would put a strong push in that you retain it as a mixed use as much as you're able. I love it being a restaurant, being on the street facing side. We're having all these conversations about really revitalizing the crossing and we already we just announced yesterday that the Franklin Children's Museum will be opening up across the street from you, the industrial track, hopefully eventually becoming a rail trail dropping in there. You got La Cantina that just opened, some opportunities with the old Allegra building. We're really thinking about that as a cohesive retail area with the benefit of having people that live nearby that can
Yeah.
walk to that. It would be, I think a loss to not at least retain that front part as some sort of retail or
It's
business use.
exactly 1/2 mile to the train station.
There you go.
I was going to
Yeah.
say, can it be part of our MBTA community?
It can be added to the, yeah.
I think might
Is it too far away?
well, I don't know.
Not
The
that it really
MBTA
matters.
community is so weird because it's like based on zone, not like circles.
I know.
As long as it's
That doesn't,
70 as long as
that doesn't really matter. We
75%,
can do better.
As long as it's
anyways.
75% of the MBTA community zone is within a 1/2 mile.
Right.
you
Okay,
can Add
all right.
other areas
Yeah,
also.
get extra credit. It's good to get extra
Exactly.
credit.
But this is a big endorsement. Thank you for identifying and bringing this forward. Let us know how else we can help. And I'll leave it.
And yeah. Counselor Chandler?
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Hi, guys. Yeah, no, I do like this a lot. I really do. First, I don't know how this mill was ever making any money to begin with. I mean, you got in the business. I mean, the way it is now, you couldn't do it. So that's why I understand exactly what you're looking for here.
Yeah.
When you talked about getting to the back, it is very narrow
Yeah. you drive-
between the tracks and the building.
Correct.
That's my only,
Yeah, back here.
can it
Yeah.
even be two-way there, or?
No.
Well, it's two-way now.
Yeah,
but,
kind of.
Ca-
if
Yeah,
a truck pulls in there, no way.
right, not a
Either way.
truck.
Yeah.
Right, because I know they have to back,
Yeah.
yeah, it's not 4 trucks there. No. That way at
I've
least
never
we're
seen a
all,
truck back in there. I don't even know how they would do it.
they do it, it's
Do
like,
they,
but,
they may back up on Union Street. for
then,
all I
yeah,
know.
then they back all the way in.
Well, they can drive in, probably turn around the very, very back.
Oh, drive
as well.
always to the very end.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
that's
back
still
is, yeah.
kinda-
The
Circle
picture you
around the
have
big-
where
Yeah.
all these little buildings are back
Yeah.
here, these don't exist anymore. It's just a paved parking lot.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah.
maybe they pull it
That's
all the
the
way,
big
turn
part, yeah.
around there, and then back in. That
Yeah.
probably makes sense.
Yeah, no, I know a lot of kids used to hang around in the back there, obviously. That'll be good. But again, just down the crossing, I'm excited as our next piece.
Yep.
To pulling everything together, that's really where I'm at. And now this, I mean, you'll have a restaurant and housing, not 350 apartments, which is nice. So I'm just being honest, those townhouses
Yeah.
definitely,
No, this would have character. This
Yeah.
would have character. It would not just be a big,
What?
ugly building like other ones close by.
right. As long as people don't complain about the train whistles. All right?
Right.
No complaining about the train whistles.
And,
Yeah.
so
But,
true.
Yeah, so this definitely has my endorsement. Thank you
Thank
for,
you. Thank you.
putting your hard work into this, and thank you, Brian, too. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Counselor Sheridan, Counselor Chandler, Counselor Sheridan.
Yes, Sam, I love it.
Oh, this is easy.
I live right there, I'll walk
He
in
lives,
that.
he lives right there.
So
I
I
was-
walk by all the time. My son takes wrestling there, and you
Oh,
can't.
yeah.
And it's a nightmare trying to. I even drive in and I turn around back there. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Wrestling is pretty much the only tenant in there right now.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple. A sign guy that's been there for 20 years. There's a,
The sign guy's still there?
he is.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta go down. It's hard to find him.
There's a church.
No.
No,
Church
they
is
moved
gone,
out.
yeah.
Yeah, church is gone. Yeah.
Anything
And of course,
else?
the fabric,
In the fabric store, of course,
Store.
which is
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
the only store there.
Oh, that'd be nice to keep the
Was there
bookstore.
a fire there recently? Is that?
Yeah, there was a small fire in one of the outbuildings, exactly.
Yeah.
And that caused the building inspector, the fire department to get involved.
Oh, yeah.
And there was, it was a small fire, but it was, you know, a fire in a
Yeah.
mill. And it was a problem. So it's been a, you know, she's fixed it, she's done what she
Okay.
needs to, I guess.
Great.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think this is a great idea. I love it. I love the idea of having the restaurant in the front. If you can do it, please do it. The two larger, the 3-story buildings, like I see these things and I think like artist lofts and like maker spaces
about that.
and things like that. But I mean, that's like far away, but I think, you know, as we look to encourage our creative economy, all the public art things we're trying to do. We have a director of arts and culture, you know, there's just so many things that can happen. It's just, it's exciting. I love the townhouse thing and not to really change it too much, just to like
Right, totally, yeah.
make it livable,
Uh-huh.
right? So I love the mix. As long as it stays mixed use, I think it's great.
Great, thank you.
So thank you,
all.
Brian, for bringing this to us. Thank you, Rick.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jamie, Amy.
Got more anecdotes if we want to fill time. Right?
You want to talk about the?
Well, actually,
Sorry.
I gave a walking tour last week. A
Yeah.
whole bunch of residents. We walked around,
Yeah.
just talked about downtown redevelopment of Franklin, and we stopped across the street and talked about what that space could be and how it could be a mixed
No
use.
kidding.
With,
And
with
what did they
residential.
say?
I mean, that was like the highlight of the
No kidding.
of the tour. Yeah. So,
Wow.
people are excited, and this is. I mean, these are.
I think
Not just people like me. These are residents of all ages. Not.
not just people like you.
Yeah.
Is there anyone else like you out there?
That was.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah. I mean, I think people have looked at that for a long time, and felt that it's underutilized, right?
No,
Because
definitely.
you know, it's just really special. I think it has a great character, and it's great that you want to. So the facade, you want to keep the
Oh,
facade.
all the brick, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody knows, I'm also the person who bought the former Clark Cutler McDermott property.
Yeah.
And we're in the process of, you know, fixing it
Clark
up.
Cutler McDermott.
And so, Kobe, if your grandmother was there, you obviously had family and other people that worked at Clark Cutler McDermott at one point. I mean, they were employed over 300 people.
Yeah.
In this town.
Yeah.
They've been there for 110, 120 years. If you haven't seen it yet, we're adding these massive big windows back to the original structure. It looks
I've seen it.
fantastic.
Looks
So,
great.
the same idea. We want to keep the brick, keep the exposed wood beams, exposed brick, and create a really beautiful property.
Great, I love it. All right, so I guess I would accept a motion to move this to the council to then go to the planning board. I think
So
that's
moved.
next, right?
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
There you go.
All right,
Okay.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very easy tonight.
Yeah,
That's really
kinda
good.
refreshing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really nice. Thank you all. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you later at 7.
We'll talk about next steps soon, okay?
Okay, yeah.